Hello, Karl. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Matteo, for your invite. It will be a pleasure to be part of this podcast, and I look forward to answering your questions.
Okay, thank you. Let's begin with the first one. You are the president of the ASA, Aquatic Sports Association of Malta. Can you tell me about your role in the association in these years?
Well, I was elected in November 2022, and this is my third year as election, and I'll be seeking re-election again in November 2025, which happens to be our 100-year anniversary as well as an association. ASA is not only water polo, it is comprised of four disciplines, which is water polo, swimming, artistic swimming, and open water swimming. So it is a tough job. A lot of things we have managed to do in my 2 years as president. We also managed to host big competitions like Final Four, Champions League in Malta, World Cup for under 16. We'll host under 18 Women's European Championships. We had the Artistic European Championships as well. In swimming, we're winning part of the Maltese contingent in GSSC, which were held in 2023. So yes, I am very happy with all the work I have done, and together with my executive. I am looking forward to more. There's still more to do. My wish was always to move these four levels to the next four sports to the next level.
And I've been in Malta and I felt the passion that the island have for water polo. And so I want to ask you, why is that popular in Malta, water polo?
Well, water polo is now, I may boast that the main sport in summer as the top sport in Malta, and I think the second sport all over during the year. So the results we get as water polo national teams are fantastic. You know, we are 14th in Europe, we are 10th in Europe, we are 10th in Europe with the under 15, 11th with the under 17s, last year 15th in Europe with the under 19s. I keep going. Well, I think it's with such a small country achieving such top results is something fantastic. Then we are very proud to host, I think, the best summer competition in the world. We managed to attract to our competition to our pool, to our teams in Malta, the top players, namely Ivovic, Filipovic, I was Molnar in the past, Gojkovic. You know, I won't stop. I won't stop mentioning Benedek. I won't stop mentioning players that came to play to grace us to play in Malta. That means the level is always getting higher. Our clubs are engaging, and from here I can really boast and thank them. Top coaches to come over the island, not only for the summer period, they stay over for all season. We have category leagues in under 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I think we are working hard to really move forward with our sport, which is a very popular sport in Malta. Of course, not as popular as football, because football is popular all over in every continent of the world. But yes, we have passion for water polo. A lot of supporters come to watch the game. We even have 3,000, 3,500 for our semi-finals, finals, cup final games. It's a pleasure and honor, and to see such very good water polo, very top level water polo, which also helps the club level also helps obviously to for the national team to improve, to get better results. Lately, a team from Malta, Slima, have managed to qualify to the next round of the Challenger Cup with aspirations to also win the Challenger Cup. So I am that is my dream, my wish to move water polo in national team. Why not come in the top 8, top 10 in Europe? Why not?
Okay, so talking about the national team, now you are in Turkey, following the men's national team for the Division 2 World Cup. So I want to ask you what are your expectations for this tournament?
Well, Matteo, we have just finished last weekend the Sports Malta Christmas Cup, which we held in Malta. It was a very nice competition with Malta, Slovenia, Slovakia, and Portugal. Malta managed to win. Top games, new rules, Matteo. It's something I really wanted to practice before I came over to Istanbul. Uh, I spoke to my players. I told them Istanbul is the preparation for the qualifications that will be held next year to go to Belgrade, which probably might be January 2026. Malta has qualified for the past 5 editions. I was coach for the past for the 4 editions. Now Milan Cirovic, top coach from Montenegro, is coaching the team. We have a young team. We have recalled and very happy to have back with us Stevie Camilleri, top Maltese player who has played abroad for 20 successive years. We are rebuilding a young team around him. Hopefully, we'll have some recalls back. Of course, there are some players I really want to form part of the national team. Yes, our aspirations is to go to the top 12 in Europe, but first must qualify for Belgrade 2026. And this in Istanbul will help us as training, as preparation. My aspirations here are to be in the top 4, top 6. Hopefully top 4, but let's see. Game today was a very good day against Singapore. We'll look forward to tomorrow and day after and day after.
Yeah, okay, that's a good plan. So you told me that you played and coached for the Maltese national team, and in your opinion, what's the biggest difference between a team of a Division 2 like Malta, Germany, Portugal, and the team at the Division 1 like Serbia, Spain, and Hungary? So what's the gap between these two divisions? Is more the conditioning part or the talent of the players?
Very good question, Matteo. I think it affects both conditioning, obviously, but also, first of all, you are talking about top water polo nations: Italy, Croatia, Spain, Hungary, Montenegro, Serbia. These are very difficult not to have them in the top 6, top 8 of European competitions. They work on a professional level. We don't work on a professional level. They train. I had the occasion to go to Montenegro with my idol, which is Vlado Gojkovic, who's a coach who was ex-coach of Montenegro, now is coach of Jadran. They work for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, which is quite impossible I think, in smaller countries like ours. They have a wider choice of players, of course, to choose from. Malta is a small island, but I think also they work very hard on conditioning, on gym work, on physical. That is where obviously they have the edge over other nations for sure.
So maybe the quick answer is that they can work on a professional level, and a country like Malta didn't have the structure to have so many players that play in a professional level.
Yes, it's to tell you the truth, we have players that go and play in foreign leagues. Of course, we have Stevie Camilleri, Jake Muscat, we have Jake Tanti now. We have other players, Jaden Kutayar, who's having a very good season, even though he's 18 years old, 17 years old in a top club like Partizan. They can manage to go and play there because obviously our main league is focused in summer, so they will play for the remaining 9 months, get experience. But I don't think this is enough. Obviously, we have no professional players in Malta. Everybody, all players work or study or are graduated. So it is quite difficult to arise to that status. Why not? I will try working on maybe some semi-professional basis. I've already signed a very good contract with the local sports school, MCS, where my 6 of my under 18 national team are training every day there with the national coach of Malta. They are studying for university there as well. So it is something which slowly needs to I need to work on. I need to improve. We need to obviously train for longer hours. Training for 1 hour 15 minutes is not enough every day. I'm trying to prolong to 130, 145. Some extra gym work as well. So it's not an easy situation. Money is the most important. Money is something I have to work on a lot on sponsors. We have to work on sponsors, on government, so, but I am a very positive person, Matteo, and I really hope that in the future we'll move to maybe not professionalism, but semi-professionalism, and improve the day of our local athletes and get better results by means of this as well on European competitions.
So, as a small country with 500,000 people, I think, what are the strategies to develop water polo both at the base level and at the top level? So at the base level, I do think that you need to grow the number of athletes, and at the top level, you need to just have as much good athletes to take with the
So
national team.
at a low level, I believe it is very good it is very important to have top coaches, top coaches coaching your boys, longer hours of training, morning training before going to school, evening training not being one and a half hour, but more than 1.5 hour training, 2 hours training, work in the gym, watch videos of games, watch top players playing. I think that is the main aspect, I have 8 out of 12 teams who have nurseries, Matteo, which is something very good. The nurseries go from under 12, under 14, 16, 18, 20. As I said, we need to get more players to water polo, many more numbers. The numbers have to be even higher. I managed to steal some players from the football game as well, so and get them through our good results. So young boys enjoy seeing the national team play, and it is my aim. And we already do participate in every competition we qualify for. So under 16s, this year we have under 16, under 18, men and women. Next year we have the under 20. Last year we had the under 17s and under 19s. We're working hard to qualify for World Cup competitions as well, World Championships as well, which is a bit more difficult because there are a bigger number of teams. But I work 24/7 on this, and not only on, obviously today it's a water polo podcast, but I work also on swimming and artistic and open water as well to develop the sport, get better results, better conditions, better infrastructure. It's a long work to do, long job, but I love it.
Talking about infrastructures, how is the situation in Malta? Because every guest told me that in their country there is this problem that they can't find space to just train their athletes. So I want to ask you, how is the situation there?
Well, one thing I am very happy about with the results I got as national coach was that the government intervened and saw the necessity that water polo has to grow in Malta because it has potential, it gets good results, and the only way was to obviously have very good infrastructure. I believe we spoke. You visited the national pool in Taro, which was our only heated pool. It was built in 1993, but from then we have clubs like Neptunes, like Sirens, like Birzabuja, like Otters now in Gozo, who have their own pool, heated pool as well, where they can work. Marsa Scala will have theirs as well. There are applications for St. Julian's, for Slima, for each club to have the possibility to have not an indoor, but an outdoor heated pool as well. That is game changer for us, game changer for the game of water polo, Matteo. I am very also proud and happy to have the first 50 meters Olympic sized indoor pool in Malta, where we had our tournament last weekend. It's a gem. It's something we are proud of. We already hosted the under 16 World Championships in it. So it is a state of the art pool. We are also changing the lighting system now for the Final Four in the open water pool, and the open pool in Talro. A lot of work, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of new things coming up. But I believe it is a problem for everyone to find pool space. As you said, I am sure who spoke before me in the podcast in different regions and different countries stated this. But you have to work hand in hand with the governments and make sure that the infrastructure is up to standard and enough for all the participating teams, for all the boys that are training, girls that are swimming, playing water polo. So it's not an easy job, but we're working on that as well.
Okay, so you have the pools and you need to recruit as many kids and girls as possible. So I want to ask you, how do young players get into water polo in Malta? Is it from a school or just from some
Well,
friends, from some
well,
advertising?
obviously, water polo is quite followed in Malta. The national team is followed. The teams are followed. Games are also very well followed in Malta, Matteo. But we work by going into into the schools. We are working on also taking top coaches to go and speak to the boys, top players to go and speak to the boys and girls, recruit new names, new faces to the game of water polo, getting very good coaches, which is the motto of the clubs. You know, top coaches that have worked in abroad, have they made the name water polo. Um, Having competitions for the junior players as well throughout all the year, which is very important, not to lose them to others. It's a long process, but the more children you have, the better you can choose from, the better possibility having of having stronger players, better players. We have good scouting as well, which is very important. We have two sports schools in Malta as well, which I must mention, NSS, which is the National Sports School, where at the moment there are 16 water polo players participating, studying there, training there every day. And we have an MCS school as well, so another 15, 16 players. It's the Mediterranean College of Sport. That is
It's
our
kind
work.
of
That is our work. That is our work.
it's kind of the college model, the schools
Yes,
that you mentioned. Okay.
yes. They train in the morning for 2 hours as well with our national coaches. Then they study. They have their obviously their lectures. Then they obviously after 5 o'clock they are back in the pool to train with their clubs as well.
Yeah, that's really important because it's not easy to conciliate both sport and studying, but it's really important in a sport like water polo, where you can't just live of water polo if you are not one of the
Of course,
greatest
the
players.
dual career is a very important part. We are obviously studying on. We have players who are doctors. We have players who are lawyers. We have players who are graduated. So we are working on that as well. As everybody knows, not so easy to work to live on only a water polo wage, but that is also important. But we are getting there as well.
Yeah. As you mentioned, you have the only summer league in Europe, I suppose, and that's a really high level summer league because every year you have international players like Ivovic. This year, Cannella comes there, and so I want to ask you, how many foreign players can a team have?
So before it was two, but for the past 2 seasons it was one. We both of getting top players, the Ronaldo Messi of water polo. So it's Ivovic younger, Cannella this year winner of the championship, Barroso, top players that have been top in their top players in their countries, in their national teams, and they come and honor us and play for the two and a half summer months in Malta. So it is a top competition. Obviously, by getting these players, it is a form of attracting new players to water polo, new supporters to the game of water polo. They come at a cost, of course, because they are very, very top level players. But the clubs manage to do this, manage to have a top water polo season every year. We are changing also the format now with giving more importance to the top four, middle four, bottom four, but then grouping them to 6-6, with more interesting games throughout the year. There are clubs that are working on sharing bases as well, obviously. Top clubs who have a surplus of players can loan out players to younger clubs to have a stronger team as well. So it's a long process. It's a long, but it is important, as we said before, to attract more players and not to lose players. Because it is a fact that sometimes players that don't make the grade immediately tend to fall out of the game, and of course that is not good for our sport.
Yeah. Okay. One of the main thing to consider for growing water polo, I think it's the financial stability of both clubs and federations. So I want to ask you, what's the path to financial stability for a water polo club, in your opinion, and what's your strategy to do it for the World Federation of Malta?
Well, it is a very good question. Finance is always a problem. So let's start with the federation. Federation is it works a lot on sponsors. I managed to get 3 top sponsors that finance most of our office work, our participations, our expenses. Because federation has a lot of expenses. The government helps as well. Sports Malta, under CEO Marco Tagliar and Chairman Matthew Pisani, each year issue help, we call it strategic helps and financial helps, helps us in an amount which we can use when we participate abroad. Obviously, gate money then will help as well during the summer league. It's always an uphill struggle in finances, but I never look back. I am a very positive person. I try to find sponsors here, sponsors there, as long as we can manage to participate in all competitions with the national team, not only men but also women as well. Clubs, okay, clubs work on memberships. Memberships, obviously, when juniors train with club, they are made to pay a small fee per month, which will help us in keeping the coaches in Malta. Which is not keep a coach. It's not only a wage, but also flat eat and car. The expenses that go up every day, and which are substantial. Some clubs also have the facility of owning the bar of the restaurant, catering establishments, which they hire out to third parties, and they will manage to get a lot of income in return, so they can manage to finance a whole season of water polo.
Okay, and so you are saying that for the federation is more a sponsorship part of finance, and for the clubs, membership is the key. And so I want to ask you about which role is playing the sponsorship in club financial stability, and also the television rights. Is Maltese water polo played on television?
Yes, the sponsors are not only for the national team, but also some clubs have sponsors as well. That will help, obviously, in a small way to keep the team going as well, because the team is expensive. Of course, every player has remuneration, so it's not easy to at the end of the season. Some clubs come up to with a bill of 500, 600,000 euros of maintenance, not only for seniors but juniors, coaches, clubhouses, and so it's a big thing as well. Yes. So, what did you ask about
The television.
television rights? Yes, television rights. I just signed the contract for 3 years with the local television, TVM Sport. They will cover one or two games maximum per live games calendar games per program. They will also, they are covering also on other times the games of the top leagues, also some junior leagues as well, women league as well, national team, of course. That I was given a good sponsor, obviously that will help also financially the association, but also it will manage to help us get the sport even stronger out there to the Maltese population as well on television with live games. We must not forget that also the local television caters for Final Four as well, with a live game every match day as well, which that helps growing the love to water polo, the interest in water polo, and obviously it's very important that the people out there know what we are doing, know that water polo is a top sport as well, and we manage to attract more people to the game.
And so, where do you see water polo in your country in 5, 10 years from now? Let's first say 5, then 10.
Well, it's a long process. It's a long. We are working on a project for, obviously. Our aim is to take the sport to the next level, take the national teams to higher rankings, maybe top 10, top 8. We never worked on passport changes, on anything, just it was always a Maltese national team that played them, except one instance that we had a French player who was living in Malta for 15 years who managed to change his passport to Maltese, Aurélien Cousin, who is now my national team woman coach. I want to see more numbers, Matteo, more numbers, more boys joining clubs, more clubs joining our association. We are at 12 at the moment, 12 clubs playing in First Division and Premier Division. But also my eye is also on developing the national teams as well. We have a top coach with us in Malta already, Milan Cirovic. I've just appointed Chris Ladden as national team coordinator. He's the next teammate of mine. We are working on professionalism basis, not in terms of professional, but the professional approach to water polo. Where training comes, where traveling comes, where competition comes. I think it is the only way to move forward, and that was always my mentality. I love water polo, Matteo. I was one of the few, I think not the only one who was player, coach, and president as well. So I can feel it from each and every way. So I have a very good relationship with the clubs. I have a good relationship with the players. That is how I work on what I work on, because after all, water polo is everyone's sport. So it is important that we work together to move it to the next top level.
Okay, and so what's the recipe for water polo to grow globally?
Well, I am now in the technical water polo committee as well as vice chairman. We are working on different working groups, development of water polo, social media. I'm head of these development of water polo, three groups: social media, marketing. We need we need to show the people out there. We need to give them more about our game. We need to show them how nice water polo is. We are changing the rules again to make the game a bit faster, make it more attractive. We need some more spectacle during the games, during the sessions. The television production must be of a better level. The social media must have more impact on our youths who follow social media. We are working on a lot of things, so that is what I'm working on at the moment, and I'm very happy to occupy a strong position within European Aquatics as vice chairman of Technical Water Polo Committee. The aim of my colleagues is to make this game better, richer, and obviously more interesting to watch.
Okay, and talking about the new rules, I have seen the first match, the one of Malta against Singapore with the 25 meters pool, and I do think that maybe for the highest level, the 25 meters pool and the 25 seconds action, it's a really good idea because you just take off the 8 meters of swimming, and so the game is faster, and the technical part of the game of a player is highlighted, because if you are a really good player, you can take an advantage and just maintain it for less meters, so you need to swim less. But I do think that 25 seconds, it's really a few time to build an action in a lower level. Like in Italy, for like Serie B, Serie C, it can be a problem. What do you think about this?
Matteo, very well done. You are a coach. You have analyzed even after one game you saw. Maybe we will need also to see top level water polo as well. Today's game was a good game, but we need to see Italy, Spain, Hungary, Croatia, Montenegro playing 25 meters. Yes, the 25 seconds might be a bit of a big change for lower level teams, because it takes them a bit longer to make the attack, so they will not have that much time to finalize the attack. What I have noticed is that we had a tournament this weekend. I spoke with my coaches. Flying substitution is not so easy at the moment now with the shorter time, because the center will take longer. It's mostly the center who is changed, therefore flying substitution will take longer to get in the center, and the time is shorter. The man up is 15 seconds is nice because it's faster. The game is faster, of course, Matteo, but we are studying. We will discuss this. What we see in Istanbul and what we will see in Otopeni in the first World Cup A, which will be held in January, and then we'll decide what will be maintained, what will need to be changed, what will need to be discussed. So it's a long process, but I think the initial approach to this league, to these rules was a very positive one.
Yeah, okay. Maybe the best part of these new rules is that a lot of clubs with 25 meters pool can just compete now at a national level, because before these rules, if you have a pool of only 25 meters, you can't actually play in no competitions.
It's a good thing you are saying. We need to be careful as well, because if 25-meter pool, with putting in the goalposts, it will be a shorter, so it won't be 25. So the field of play will be even shorter. So we need to find some solution for goalposts that can be closer to the end of the pool. So there will be 25 meters of playing, because it's already shorter. It's already, so getting from having the pool, having the goalpost for 3.5 meters. 3.5 meters, look, another 6 meters is a bit, so
Yeah.
we need to work on that as well. Let's see but yes, some many, even in Malta, we practice on 25 meters. So that is, but with goalposts that are on the ledge of the pool, on the edge of the pool. So let's see. But it's a plus as well.
Okay, so thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this, and good luck for the Maltese national team, and also for your job as the president of the Federation of Malta.
Thank you, Matteo. I really hope this was an interesting podcast for
Yeah.
who will be hearing this podcast. Keep up the good work. I follow your podcast. I know you are crazy for water polo like I am. Keep it up. Let's get more people to this game of water polo. As I told you, it is a very nice game. It is a very tough game as well. It could be nice to watch as well, with the best possible measures to be taken. We'll be working with the new rules to make this game even better. But thank you very much for your invite, and it was a great pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you very much.